Welcome to the Florida Homesteader Podcast, where we bring the pages of the magazine to life, sharing all the stories, the skills, and the spirit of homesteading across the Sunshine State. From backyard gardens to family farms and everything in between, we are here to inspire, encourage, and celebrate the Florida homesteading way of life. I'm Jamie Bateman, your host and editor-in-chief of the Florida Homesteader Magazine, and we're so glad that you joined us today. So folks, go grab you some iced tea and let's jump into today's podcast chat. Hello and welcome back to the Florida Homesteader Podcast. My name is Jamie and I am the editor-in-chief of the magazine and also your host for the podcast today. And we are joined by Melissa Syfrett. She is an advertiser with us with the magazine. We are very grateful for their support. But you're going to get to know more about Melissa and her family, her legacy, and the business that they are offering and what they do to support farmers and homesteaders across the state of Florida. So without further ado, good morning, Melissa.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Doing great.
Great. So for those who do not know who you are or your family, why don't you share a little bit about that with us?
Okay, so Syfrett Feed, we've been in business for about 68 years, so it's been a long time. My grandfather, O.C. Syfrett, started the business with burlap bags on a flatbed.
Wow.
Delivering about 8 or 9 dairy loads a week. Not very much, not compared to today.
Right.
I have been working here, and I had the pleasure of working with my dad, and I work with my brother now for 24 years.
Wow.
So I've been doing it a long time. We know what we're doing around here as far as the feeds for the animals. We manufacture beef feed, chicken feed, swine feed. We've done even some ostrich feed once in a great while, and things go up and down in life. And but as far as that, we in sheep and goat.
Wow.
So as far as that, we can do feed a lot of the animals that are at your farm that you have, and feed it with good feed that's quality and proven.
Absolutely. So I kind of want to tear apart a little bit about your family's legacy with you said it was your great grandfather?
My grandfather.
Or your grandfather that started the business?
Yes.
All right. Did he raise the feed himself? Was he a grower to it, or how did that happen for him?
He was working for General Mills. General Mills was bought out by Purina. So whenever the General Mills down in Miami, they called it Miami, closed, that mill closed, and then he decided to open a mill in Lake Park. And Lake Park is right north of Palm Beach.
Okay.
So they had the mill on the railroad line over there in Lake Park. And then things changed, just like they do around here. And all of the dairies came to Okeechobee. So then whenever the dairies came to Okeechobee, the feed mills needed to move here also. So there's 3 feed mills in Okeechobee. You have the United, Walpole, Gator, and us, and then Dairy Feeds is owned by they have their own mill for MacArthur and Larson. So that's what we all came here. It was the central place in Okeechobee. We're on the CSX line, so we have railroad service.
Nice.
It was a great rural town at that time. And now like I said, we've been in business for 68 years. We've been here since 1976. We opened the doors in Okeechobee.
Wow.
So we're not going to move. We're here. You don't move a feed mill overnight.
No, you do not.
We're always working on the mill as far as putting money back into it and everything that we do so that we can improve the facility. We can change with the times. Like I said, they were in burlap bags, and then we went to bulk trucks, auger trailers. We have hopper bottom. We have belt trailers. And now we sell totes of feed. We sell bags of feed. So we have definitely changed with the times and been able to work with different customers over the years, many different ones, from somebody getting a 25-ton truckload of feed to the one person with 4 chickens in their backyard enjoying them.
I love that. Do you still have the burlap bags?
Some of them
Do
in a
you?
frame.
I was wondering, in the citrus industry, they do that with the old orange crates. Or the
Hmm.
labels that were on the orange
Yes.
crates. So I was hoping you were going to say you had some of those burlap bags still.
Yeah, just a couple of them, but
That that's
yes.
a that's a neat commodity to carry
So,
on.
yeah, and now the bags are a poly bag and they're bright and beautiful and they have color all over them. The purple ones are the cube bags and the chicken
Uh-huh.
feed bags are yellow and orange. And then we have a brown beef feed bag. And so now we can use all the colors of the rainbow and have bright, flashy bags.
You've definitely advanced from the burlap days.
Yes, exactly.
So you understand, and you kind of mentioned this a little bit with the support that you offer to even small farmers, that you don't have to feel, if you are a small farmer or homesteader that is listening, you don't have to feel like you can't come to your mill or other feed stores around the
Right. We're
state
in
that provide you your feed.
We're
Anybody can
currently
use it.
going to 26 different stores throughout Florida. So we have feed stores that come and they'll pick it up here. We'll deliver it to them. Either way, some of them are once a week, some of them are twice a month, but
Hmm.
we can get to your area, we feel like, in Florida within a week or so and be able, or you can come here. And then we're even down in Homestead. We're up to Gainesville area. It's actually at Spar up there in Spar, Florida. That's the most north store we're going to up there.
Do you have plans to expand even further than that?
Well, if you're going against the railroad and against the freight lines as
Oh,
far as
yeah,
going that far, and
yeah.
honestly, there are 3 or 4 different mills in Florida that are up in the north area in Lake City and Live Oak and that way. And so it doesn't really make sense as far as a business perspective to go that much further. We have gone into Georgia with some cubes because customers want them, and
Hmm.
that's fine. Shipping
Hmm.
stuff out of here is easy to go north in Florida because
Hmm.
the trucks are a lot of them are empty. So that's
Hmm.
doable too. Just they've got to get more than one bag.
Right. Yeah. That may be where the small farmer needs to stock up if
Yes.
they want to do that. Well, nutrition is obviously a very important concept for what y'all are doing. You wouldn't be in this business if you didn't have some compassion toward animal health and what that
Yes.
looks like. So, talk to us a little bit about the products that you offer. You mentioned the types of grains that you offer, the types of animals that you can help with. But talk a little bit more about the benefits of the feed that you offer and what that looks like.
Well, as far as just in the dairy cows or in the poultry, you're getting down to how many calories they need per day. You're
Hmm.
getting into how much exercise they get, whether it's a free range chicken or it's a chicken in a coop. They're two totally different chicken ways of doing things, and you can have cows that are shut up in a barn and working them that way, or you can have them out in a pasture. So that's your choices. But feeding to that animal and that specific is how it gets as
Hmm.
far as to the minerals and vitamins that they need so that they'll grow properly, so the chicken eggs will grow properly. We pride ourselves in a good calcium enriched and vitamin enriched layer feed so that you'll have that brilliant yolk, that color of the yolk. We put a paprika is one of the ingredients, and sunflowers, the extract of sunflowers and a little
Hmm.
bit of alfalfa meal will give you a beautiful yolk in your
Hmm.
chicken eggs, and that's
Hmm.
very important to me. And getting it
Absolutely.
down to that detail is
Hmm.
just, it's awesome.
I've heard somebody had mentioned to me one time before. They actually asked us a question because we have chickens. We've got the layers, and we also have the Cornish cross meat birds, and we actually use that product that you offer. So we're grateful for that. But somebody asked me one time, we understand the importance of making sure that your meat birds have a clean feed to eat. You don't want them to have all that junk in it and all that. Whether you use the term non-GMO or organic or whatever those terms are that you use, but understanding that yes, that is true because that whatever they consume is going back into their meat. But I had somebody ask me, does it do the same for chickens that are laying eggs?
No,
And
it's a totally
it,
different diet.
that's
I
what I thought.
compare it to a dairy cow and a
Mm-hmm.
beef cow. I just love
Mm-hmm.
cows. Sorry, they're my animal.
Go with
But
the cows. They're cute.
and
We have cows too, so I
and so your laying hen has been designed and bred, and just the way we have just picked, whenever you pick that laying hen in that species, now they of course can be used after they have laid their eggs and you're done with them,
correct.
and they're eaten, of course.
Right, right.
But the broiler hens, and just we have grown to use, and that's the broiler side of things. And the
Mm-hmm.
broilers, you want a good, and even for the laying hens, when they're pullets, when they're little bitties, and whenever you're growing them up for the first 3 or 4 months, you need to feed them a good high protein feed because they're not eating a lot.
Right.
You just look at how big their little stomach is, and they need a 20% protein feed when they're young because they just need to get that protein in them so that they can grow. And then when
Mm-hmm.
they get to be bigger, you can feed them a 16% protein or something, something like that to the layers and the broilers. They are on the same protein side of things, but as far as for the calcium for the broilers and the calcium for the layers, totally different things. The vitamins and minerals that they need are different. It's just two different birds, and you have to treat them that way.
Mm-hmm. Does it matter if the layers have that organic non-GMO feed like a Cornish cross would have to have, or because like does that filter down into the eggs as much as what it would into the meat?
No, I don't feel like you need that as
Yeah.
far as my opinion. We just can't
Mm-hmm.
feed the world on the organic and the non-GMO. And
Right.
basically I mean, we've been working with layers and working with the feed and everything for so many years, and working so that that corn plant will deliver the feed so we can feed the world, and so that that soybean will have enough pods on it so that we can have the protein to feed them. I just don't see it feeding the world, as far as what we need to do, because there's a lot of people living on this planet.
Mm-hmm. That was really in line with the response that I gave when that person asked me that question too. They said, "Do you think it's even that important?" I was like, "I don't think it does." I when you're talking about a layer, I don't know. There's not enough out there to convince me that you have to go with a non-GMO feed for a laying chicken. I just don't see that it's necessary. I don't think you can. Not to say that you can't, but I don't think you need to. I don't think that is necessary.
You need to have clean water. You need to
Right.
have a clean house. You
Right.
need to take care of their environment just like you take care of your house and your
Right.
environment, and make sure all of that we don't have any moldy feed. That is one thing that we stand
Of
behind
course.
our product. Is if you have a moldy bag of feed, we have a born on date on every single bag tag, and then you have it whenever we're delivering the ingredients to you or delivering feed to you. We have dates and things. And of course, if it's older than 2 months, it's no good. You've got to
Mm-hmm.
throw it out. It's
Mm-hmm.
fertilizer.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's just like the food in your fridge, you're not going to
Mm-hmm.
have it last longer than 2 months. It's just not possible. I
And you're
really
good.
want I really want you to eat it, get the animals to eat it within 6 weeks is the most I would go for. The fresh product that I like to get feed every 4 weeks at minimum. And
Uh-huh.
so if you can come by your stores and get enough for that time and make less trips, then do it. If you
Mm-hmm.
need to come here and you're driving from 2 hours away, then come and get 4 weeks worth if you can hold that much or as much as you can handle. And then you don't have to make so many trips, and you don't, your
Mm-hmm.
time is valuable.
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely.
the animal feed it will sour, it will mold, it will go bad just like what we eat.
And if you're not familiar with what that looks like or smells like, you will know.
Yes.
You will know when that feed goes bad.
Well, that's
So,
that moldy bread, or well,
mm-hmm.
not a lot of the breads we may eat now, but the homemade bread, you just,
You
it will
know,
go bad,
it
and the
will go
meats and
bad.
things like that. And so it's just how things work. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
last forever.
Right.
And we
When
don't put any ingredients in it that's making to do that. We don't add
nice.
extra water. We don't add extra ingredients that we don't need. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
have a product that is genuine. You can have an all natural feed. We do that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's easy to do. And feeding an all natural feed without antibiotics. And that's perfectly a great opportunity. I would say to the poultry customers that I would suggest vaccinating your chickens because
Mm-hmm.
you just have a higher death loss if you don't.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of chicken farmers that lost a lot of birds. It's small scale, I'm talking, even small scale and large scale, that lost a lot of birds because of the health of the chickens. So yeah, it spreads. I think it spreads quicker with a flock of chickens than it does with a kid in a daycare system sometimes.
Well, yes, I agree. We can get the kid to wash his hands. We can
Right?
do that. Some of them,
The chickens are a
but
hopeless cause.
they don't wash their hands.
No, they don't.
We have to do that and keep their area clean for them.
Yeah,
And that's just
absolutely.
one of that's a huge nutrition standpoint, is
Hmm.
keeping the good feed in front of them in clean areas and keeping them as healthy as you can.
Hmm. Yep,
It's
I
huge.
agree. I agree. What makes your feed unique in comparison to the box stores brands or the big box stores or anything like that?
Quality and nutrition. We
Nice.
don't cut corners.
Mm-hmm.
We do not go into the formulation of the feed unless the customer asks or unless we have problems getting ingredients. We
Mm-hmm.
don't change our feeds, they will be consistent. On our bag tag, you will see the different ingredients. There will be corn, wheat midds listed, corn gluten, I mean, vitamins and minerals, calcium, and everything that you need, vitamin A, vitamin D. We don't change the tag so that you can't see that. We
Mm-hmm.
are open and honest with the largest ingredient in this to the smallest ingredient is on the tags. The last ingredient has a minute amount in that tag, but
Mm-hmm.
the largest ingredient, is the first ingredient. We don't hide that from the customers. We feel like you need to know what you're eating, what your
Mm-hmm.
chickens are eating, what your cows are eating. You need to
Mm-hmm.
know that your sheep and goats have the right feed that you need for them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we're different. The big stores will change it on a whim, and they will have the minimum nutrient requirements that you have to have for those animals, and we
Mm-hmm.
don't believe in that. You need to go over and above because little bird that is not the leader, the one that's not the bully, is not going to get as much feed as the other bird that is. But yet that bird that's shy and needs and stays away needs to eat as much as what she needs. And it's just the same thing with cows. They have a hierarchy in their system, in their way that they live together. Pigs do too. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just natural, and people do. And it's just how life is. But yet, that little pullet needs to eat as much as she needs
Mm-hmm.
so she can grow because she needs to lay eggs as soon as possible. And so that's one thing that we really believe in is the quality of the product. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't like it, bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give you
Oh.
your money back. We'll swap out the bags.
Mm-hmm.
We have no problem with that. We want you to like the feed that you're getting.
Your transparency obviously really kind of bleeds over into customer service, and I have a feeling that that was all stemmed back from when your grandfather, the principles and the morals that he established with the business, you've carried it over multi-generational.
Exactly. Now, me and my
Hmm.
brother, we appreciate everybody that, I mean, from the smallest to the largest. We
Right.
all need the same things. We're all going after the same thing. It's just the scale of
Hmm.
how you're doing it. That's all.
Hmm.
But yes, we welcome everybody to call. Call us, email us, talk to us, talk to the stores that you go into, and they can call and get more information here. But our doors are open and we don't mind.
When you come to the point of figuring out all of the different things that go into the feed, is there somebody on your team, like not necessarily a scientist, but that's kind of where
Hmm.
my mind goes. Is there like it almost feels like chemistry, like you're working
Yes.
in.
Oh, yes. Chemistry was one of our great classes in college. Chemistry and
Okay.
biology. Yes, we took all of them. So it's now here at the feed mill. It's my brother and I, and he's
Hmm.
in charge of the nutrition formulation. I get the bills paid,
Okay.
honestly. So that's my part of things and doing and getting things going. And everybody has to have their own jobs. And
Yeah.
so we both took nutrition classes at the University of Florida. We took poultry, dairy, beef, everything. in swine and into it that they would offer. We took all of the classes that they would offer at the University of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're a larger place, then you have a nutritionist, then you call us and tell us what you need, and we learn from them. And connecting with other nutritionists, every year we go to conferences, 2 or 3 throughout the year that we have that we like. Some are in Florida and some are in Atlanta, that we like to go to and talk to different people about what's up and coming,
Mm-hmm.
and the different, like the lysine for a pig is different than the lysine for a chicken. The vitamins are different, and how they're coming about with the newest, and always reading up on what's going on in nutrition and what we need to be doing and how we need to be evolving. It's very important. The micronutrients are very important. They're finding out down to the amino acids in the feed.
Have you seen a increase in popularity of doing a more of an herbal approach to animal care and adding that to their feeds and stuff as well? Have you heard folks doing that in
Yes,
your
the
circles?
herbal and then the all natural, the organic minerals,
Uh-huh.
away from the chelates and the things that are bound up that are just going to go through them and be in the manure, and they're not going to be able to digest it. Well, then why should I spend the money and buy it? If it's just going to go out through the other, it's not necessary.
Right.
Then we need the enzymes and everything that are going to do the right ways in the animals, and we're
Mm-hmm.
learning that more and more every day.
Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of articles where folks who are incorporating herbs and things like that into with their high protein grains and the minerals that they are providing for their. But you really got to know what you're feeding. Just like you said, the cows have something. A beef cattle has something different than a dairy cow.
Oh,
A
huge.
pig has something different than obviously than a goat or a sheep or the chickens, the layers or the meat. The same concept applies, I believe, to the minerals as well as to the herbs if you are attempting to do that. So we've always said, do your research. You need to
Yes.
talk to somebody, get connected with somebody who has that information and will share that with you. Obviously, y'all will. You do that already. So that is
Yes,
a
we
huge
do.
that's a huge resource. We'll definitely at the end we'll want to make sure to get your contact information. We'll put that in the show notes. So if anyone has any questions, they can reach out to you with
Sure, we
that.
have it
And
syfrettfeed.com. It's easy.
that's easy. Very easy. For nearly 70 years, Syfrett Feed Company has been nourishing Florida's farms big and small. Family owned and rooted in Okeechobee, Syfrett Feed Company continues to serve the heart of Florida ag with integrity, experience, and feed that you can trust. From cattle to chickens, goats to game birds, Syfrett Feed is trusted by generations who care about quality nutrition and healthy animals. Visit syfrettfeed.com. That's syfrettfeed.com to learn more or stop by their Okeechobee mill today. And from all of us here at the Florida Homesteader, thank you to Syfrett Feed Company for supporting Florida's farmers, ranchers, and homesteaders. So,
Yes.
over the years, you've got 3 generations now into this business. Do y'all have a fourth generation coming up as well doing this? You
So
think? Do you
I
see?
have 2 kids, and my brother Charles has 2 kids. So he has 2 boys, and I have a girl and a boy. So my daughter is 17, about to go to college, do more college work, and my son is in middle school, and he's doing great. He's Evan. But we're active, very active in 4-H. We've been
Nice.
doing it since they were 5. And
Wow.
then whenever they get into the middle school, they can do the FFA. So we're very active with our animals. We have more cattle than anything. And before, when they were younger, they wanted the rabbits. I wanted the chickens, and they won. The little kid said, and I'm like, okay. I mean, how can you say no to a 5-year-old that wants a little rabbit?
I know that's hard. That's hard,
So I just have the chickens because I want my chickens. But the
right?
kid, they had their show rabbits.
Nice.
Yes, it
And
was great. And
I bet
then
you
we
they
went into
didn't.
the cattle.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Ours are starting with goats. Actually, our kids dabbled in the chickens, and now we have show goats. We have the boars,
Great.
and yeah, I actually had somebody who we sold a goat to, a little kid, and we sold a kid to a kid, and
Yes.
but they made the comment. They said, we were kind of thinking about them doing a steer. I'm talking. This child was And I said, well, you know what? To each his own, but you may want to start with something she can manage a little bit easier first instead of a
Well,
1,200 pound.
and
So
if you can, I mean, maybe get into the pigs because they're
yes,
honestly, I feel like it's an easier project. A
yes,
steer takes way over a year.
yes,
We do steers now, but I waited till my kids were 10 and big enough and they could understand what they
absolutely.
went through
Yeah,
and all of the work that it takes for a steer.
yes.
You can get the pigs. They got the pigs about a month ago that we
Mm-hmm,
started doing the show pigs around Okeechobee about a month ago.
mm-hmm,
So in September, it's still a little hot, in South Florida for pigs, and you got to keep them cool.
mm-hmm,
But the steers, you have to keep them cool. And the steers, we start in March, February, March, and we end in February and March. It's
mm-hmm.
a year-long
It's a long,
project.
yes, it's a longer commitment. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. No, I
But
agree.
I do suggest doing that though, and
Oh, yes.
getting into, and maybe the pigs are your better thing, or maybe the
Mm-hmm,
steers, maybe the dairy, the
mm-hmm.
poultry, and rabbits and sheep and goat. You have all kinds of opportunities in 4-H and FFA to do anything that you like.
Mm-hmm. That we are in our first issue that's coming out in a few weeks. We have a section in the magazine, which I'm pretty sure you're aware of. We call it the Kidsteader, and Kidsteaders is a featuring a child or a kid, a young adult that is doing some amazing things in the world of ag, whether it's through FFA or 4-H or in their community even, and what they're doing in their fair associations. And our first one is actually, her name is Emma, and she's from Winter Park, and she actually shows sheep. And she has such a passion. She's 14 years old. She has such a passion to educate other students, other kids, as well as adults, of the importance of having sheep in the state of Florida. And she has just tore this thing apart on the educational level and just really examined all the different areas of what sheep, how what they can do to benefit the state. So much so that she actually went to DC and spoke with her congressman, and she was advocating for the importance of his support in ag, but specifically in ag and education in schools in the state of Florida.
Yes. It's
And
huge. We
it's
need to do
huge.
more of it. There's ag in
Yes.
the classroom out there, and then
Mm-hmm.
the extension agents are in every county, and there
Mm-hmm.
is so many ways to reach out and get that opportunity. And where else would you be able to sit with your congressman? How else would you
Yes.
know that you can do that
Right.
besides
Absolutely.
4-H
Yeah.
and FFA?
Exact. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The congressmen and the adults that are in politics and everything, honestly, I think they listen to kids better than us.
I know. We need to say, hey, tell them this, tell them that.
Right. But they'll tell them their story, and their story is awesome, and it will explain to them why we have to have this.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. How have you seen changes over the past decades in farming and in homesteading as it relates to animal?
In Florida, Florida has
Yes.
greatly changed. We've changed with the times.
Mm-hmm.
We're bagging feed. We haven't been bagging feed but for 6 years like that. As far as Florida has gotten to a lot of smaller farms instead of the big farms.
Mm-hmm.
And we recognize that, and the smaller farms are important to us.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that you are, and honestly, in years ago, in the past, just in this past decade, we've seen a lot of smaller farms and much more of them grow up around the state. And people over, like my closest one is in St. Lucie County, they wanted to have chickens in their backyard. And so we were a proponent of that and helping them and asking them, what do you need, to go to your commissioners and tell them that it's not a bad thing. It's a
Mm-hmm.
great thing.
Mm-hmm.
And how they're doing that and how we need to push it. And even if you have that one pig in the backyard that's that 4-H project for 5 months of the year, they need to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Let them.
and they needs to evolve
Mm-hmm.
and be able to have that opportunity. Just like we have a dog and a cat, your animal might be a cow and a chicken or something like that. You might,
Mm-hmm.
we need to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They're
I
just
agree.
birds. We have
They're
birds inside the house.
right. Let them be.
Yes.
We've been advocating even if folks feel like chickens are too much. Look at quail. You can do quail so much easier too. Less square footage, less footprint, and you can do it in your garage. So there's a lot that folks can do.
Well, the rabbits will
Okay.
hop around the house and do a great job. I know.
They'll do great. Yes, they will do great. So you mentioned how in the beginning of our conversation that y'all had moved. Well, you not specifically, but your granddaddy moved into Okeechobee. So how has Okeechobee played a role point in with your business and how you've been able to grow?
It's been a great place to live. It's been a great place for me to grow up, and it's a wonderful small town, but that's not really a small town anymore. We're over
No.
close to 50,000 people in this little small town in Florida. But
Wow.
it's definitely grown and evolved, and I hope we're a pillar of the community to everyone around. We donate and work with the
Hmm.
community a lot, and working with the Economic Council and the commissioners and everything like that. We feel like they listen to us, which is great,
Hmm.
and we really support agriculture in this town.
You, obviously, in listening to you talk, you have a lot of passion. You love what you are doing. It comes through. What is your most favorite thing that you like to do in all of
Oh,
this?
the relaxing part is going around and looking at the cows because all
Yeah.
calving right now. So the beef cows that are at the ranch right now, they're all having their cute little babies.
Yes.
And we started on September 1st, and so this is October 1st, and so we have a lot of cute little calves on the ground, and they're doing great. And that is just the one thing that brings me joy.
I love it. The other day, I was doing a podcast with a local farmer, and I was actually in his pasture recording the episode, and he had babies behind him, and there was one that was just like this little one. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. I couldn't tell, but it was barely able to learn how to walk. Like it was so, the face was so precious. I love calves when they're first born. That little
Yes.
told him, I said, listen, if you look the other way, that little joker may not be here when you turn back around. I wanted
They
to take
will
it home.
fit in the back seat. They will fit in the back of a
Yes.
Tahoe. I know.
Done that. Yes.
Be it.
Yes. Yep. They can fit. It'll be okay.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Why do you think it's important for Floridians, obviously, to support ag?
If you eat, you support agriculture. It's that
Yes.
simple.
Yeah. If you want to eat.
That's right. And I do want to eat.
Right.
We need it. No matter if you
Mm-hmm.
are a vegetarian, no matter if you eat beef every day, no matter what
Mm-hmm.
you need agriculture. You need a farmer every day.
You do. You
And you
do.
know what? I want to eat the local farms because
Yes.
I don't want my milk coming from North Dakota. I want my Florida milk. I want my Florida beef. I want my Florida vegetables
Mhm.
because it's local, it's fresh. It's to me it has a better guarantee, a better taste. And I'm after that good, savory. If I'm going to eat something, it's going to be delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that frozen patty. Sorry, I mean there is
Yeah.
needs for it in places, but it's not what I want to eat in
Right.
my life.
Right.
And I feel like if you need agriculture and a farmer every day. I mean down to
Absolutely.
if you drink beer, if you anything. If you're eating a steak, if you're eating some chicken, I had chicken
Hmm.
last night. If you're eating chicken or whatever you're doing, then yes, you need a farmer every
Hmm.
day. Even for your coffee, there's coffee farms in the morning. I
Hmm.
drank my coffee and drank my milk this morning today, and I need that farmer every day.
Yep. Yeah, you do. For those that are just starting out and or wanting to take that first step into starting a small little farm, you've mentioned it several times. You all are very, very supportive of small farmers and homesteaders. What piece of advice would you give somebody who says, okay, I want to do this? What do I do?
Don't go too big too fast because it gets overwhelming.
Hmm.
I mean, all of these animals are very cute and I love them.
Hmm.
But I know I don't have enough time to have pigs, sheep, or goats, so I only have the chickens and the cattle and some dogs.
Hmm.
So I know that my limitations. Do I want all of them? Yes, I do. But honestly, can I afford them? Can I
Yeah.
give them the housing that they need? Just like the house that you live in, they need a certain place to live and they need all of their creature comforts and everything that they need so that they can live fully, and where you're going to get your feed, where you're going to get your animals from. All of this is a huge commitment.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. If you want to go on vacation, Joe needs to come over and feed the animals. Joe's got to check on them,
Right.
because you're gone.
Twice a day.
Yes.
Twice a day.
So that's the only, they don't have they have pet sitters for dogs and cats, but they don't for our chickens and our cows. So we just lining all of that up and being able to understand it, getting educated on it is the first thing I would suggest, and reading things from the universities and things like that of how to go about it, and what time commitment and money commitment it's going to be is a huge thing. I don't want you to get in and have 20 chickens and then you go, well, I'm choosing between buying my medicine or buying my chicken feed. I don't want you to do that.
No,
That's a bad thing. So understanding what you have to do to be a farmer, to grow with your animals, is the first thing.
But start.
Yes.
Yeah, still start. Absolutely.
Don't be scared of it, but you've just got to be educated on what you're going to have to do.
Right.
And your time. Your time is valuable.
Yeah, very true. Very true. You've seen a lot of changes also with the production and the equipment, and I'm sure there's a lot of technology that goes into what y'all do. What do you see for the future of grain mills like yourself and being able to provide this type of feed? What does that look like?
What we see is more automation.
Okay.
Which is good. We still need a lot of people. There's over 50 employees that work here, the truck drivers and down to the mechanics, the electrician and the welders and everything down to the guy that sweeps the floor. But all of that is important, but yet more automation is what's coming around the corner for our feed mill.
Do you see that as being an opportunity or a challenge?
It's a challenge to pay for it.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to have it.
Right.
And so budgeting it into what we're going to do and how we're going to grow and what we have to just maintain, because I have an entire tank of salt out there. I have 25 tons of salt. If you can imagine, it's corrosive.
Oh my gosh.
And so things like that is just maintaining the equipment. We live in Florida and things rust and fall apart. And so maintaining the building and maintaining all of the working parts and the screws and the motors and all of the switch gears and the electrical components is just a huge part of what we do. And we need all of those people to do that. But yet I might need more people to automate the system. It wouldn't necessarily be the person that's doing the hands-on labor, but it's someone that has computer knowledge. I would say don't shy away from computers, because they are part of our lives and we are with them. No matter if you're holding a phone in your hand, it's a little computer. And doing that now and knowing how to run that and not being scared of it is the one thing that I would suggest to everyone, coming up and the younger kids, and grow with that and know how to run with it.
I could just imagine what your grandfather would think now compared to how he would see how the changes have happened. And I can hear the term, well, back in my day, but still.
No, back in his day, it was all handwritten, and there was a scale with a beam.
Wow.
And we still have it sitting out there in the warehouse. And yes, there was a beam, and they watched it, and they stopped that, turned off that button whenever it was at that amount that they needed. When they needed 600 pounds, you push the button to tell it to stop, and then you would push another button to start something else. And now it's ran by a computer.
The simpler days, but yet they had to know I think they had to know more than what we have to know now because of all that they had to accomplish. So, but still neat. I love that you still have those pieces of the past and you've incorporated them into your business and to the legacy of what y'all have done. So, well,
we still have it, so we need to show it, display it.
Absolutely. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. Do you use it ever?
No, it's history. It's just sitting up there in the corner.
Yeah. I love that, though. That's neat.
It's just part of the museum piece. It's history.
Yep. A good piece of history, though.
Yes.
Well, I have really enjoyed this conversation. I have learned quite a few things. So I appreciate the time that you have taken to come on and share with us and share with our listeners what you have to offer and what it means what it means for us as small farmers to have support from partners like you. So we appreciate that. But I always ask somebody at the end of each show, I ask them, if you have one homesteading skill you wanted to be able to accomplish, what would that be?
I love to cook.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as broadening more able at things in the kitchen and doing, because I know I've had the animals. Sorry, I
Right.
got that down. They're awesome. I love them. But as far as more cooking, my mother did not can and do things like that, and
Mm-hmm.
learning that skill would be wonderful.
It would be fun.
Hmm.
I am a third generation longtime canner. So it is a fun thing. We'll
Hmm.
get together. I'll share some notes with you.
That'd be great.
That would be fun. All right. So share again where folks can find you at if they have any questions and want to connect.
Okay. Our feed mill is in Okeechobee, Florida. It's Syfrett Feed. It's spelled Syfrett. It's my last name. It's us. It's a feed, we're a Syfrett Feed Company in Okeechobee, Florida. Like I said, it's www.syfrettfeed, so syfrettfeed.com. I make that simple. Our
Mm-hmm.
email is info at syfrettfeed.com, so we make that easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have girls in the office and guys out there and truck drivers that'll deliver to you. As far as if you just need 2 or 3 tons of feed, up to 25 tons, we're available. We're here and we can make it work. Either that or
Mm-hmm.
you can go to your store and get 1 bag of feed.
Mm-hmm. Because you have all those distributors across the state, like you said.
Yes. And
Yeah.
our phone number here is 863-763-5586. Call us up.
And we will make sure to put that in the show notes as well, so you have that as an access point. So,
Yes,
well,
sure.
that'll be great. Melissa, thank you so much. This has been fun. I would love to have you back on again. Maybe we can do an update in a few months just to see how things are going, because seasons change in Florida, even though we don't think they do. We have summer and a little bit of fall, and that's it. But there are still seasons with animals and different things that come up. So I would love to talk with you more if we have
Yes.
the
Oh, and
opportunity.
January, February, and March is our fair season, our show season, and
Yes.
we're getting ready for that now and getting the animals groomed and going for it, and that is fun with the 4-H and FFA.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. That would be fun. So if you see Melissa out at the fairs, make sure you stop and say hi to her, and just let her know that you heard her story here on our podcast. But Melissa, thank you again. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to talking with you soon.
No problem. We appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's what homesteading in Florida means, and that's the story that we're proud to share in the Florida Homesteader. Thank you so much for joining us today. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, share this episode with a friend, leave us a rating, and check out our magazine, the blog, and our YouTube channel for even more Florida homestead inspiration. Until next time, keep growing, keep preserving, and keep the homesteading spirit alive. Y'all come back now.